This program is brought to you in part by a grant from the Charles A. Fruoff Foundation.
I think that one thing we do know is involvement. You have to be involved. You have to stay involved in your children's lives. Whether you're a parent, an aunt, an uncle, a neighbor, whatever, you have to be involved. And you have to offer positive alternatives. I mean, let's face it, kids get bored. They look for something to do. And if there's nothing positive to do, they'll find something that's not so positive to do.
Because it's all about the youth. It's all about our generation, man, our future generation. And so I just kind of flung through my head, man, it makes sense. You know, unity. Because when you say unity, I mean, automatically you think about togetherness, come together, you know, that's what it is, oneness.
Behold how good and blessed it is for brothers to dwell together in unity, truly.
I was 15. My big brother, he three years older than me. He died, and after that, it was over. I lost hope. I didn't care. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear about it. Don't say nothing to me. Don't act like you know me. None of that.
There is no neighborhood. There is no group of people. There is no social class. There is no economic level that is immune to drugs, that is immune to someone becoming a gang member. There are no boundaries, there are no limits. And I think the first time that someone thinks, oh, it's not going to happen here, this happens in another part of town, to another type of people, then they've probably just increased the chances that it's going to happen right under their foot because they're not paying attention. They'll be caught napping.
That's one of the reasons that a lot of people don't feel like prevention and intervention is important. But I will tell you, prevention and intervention is just as important as suppression and enforcement. And essentially that's what the U.N.I.T.Y program does within the walls of that prison, is that they work very hard on prevention among, the participants in the program. And like I said, that spills over into the inmates' families and the message that they spread back to the street. The reality of it is that many of those guys continue to be shot callers, and they have influence on the street. So why not try to spin that into positive influence rather than negative influence?
Tucker Max is home to more than 500 inmates housed by the Arkansas Department of Correction. The ADC has 4 levels of prison facilities in the state. Alvin is in a maximum security prison. After moving back to Arkansas from Houston, Al found his way into the growing drug business and gang culture in Little Rock.
I got down the corner, got familiar with them, man. They started opening doors to me that, teach me the street life, the hustling life. If I can't do it this way, I'm gonna do it that way, And went out there one day, man, and as they say, history. So we wrestled over the gun. I pretty much getting the gun and shooting. Mr. Brown, he got hit in the chest, in the chest, and he died due to that incident.
Back then, it seemed like that he didn't care about anything, you know what I'm saying? Much less himself. But then once he decided he wanted that change and got locked up by himself and went through that change, then it seemed like everything started going better for him. He started seeing life in a different way. Started treating people better, started listening to what they had to say, and started growing from there.
I was sitting in the cell, man, and listened to the radio. And it was one of those moments where, you know, I was thinking about my life. This radio station came on, and it was this lady talking about youth. She was like, "We need to do something. You guys that's in these gangs, you guys that's out of y'all, you know, you can make a difference." And unity just came in my mind, you know. And I sat there and I wrote on a piece of paper, and I listened to it, and I seen the U.N.I.T.Y. Stick to the mission. Think about the lives you brothers gonna save. You know, one that's come together is U.N.I.T.Y. You know, working together. Then I see at the end, Teen Youth.
We had discussions again out of all of that, which led to he told me that he had actually written a book about gangs and all of that, and so it started there. They had a series of articles, I think, that they did at that time on the gang problem and gang situation, or the status of gangs in Little Rock at that time. We were discussing the article. He told me that he had been in a gang, of course, and had known some of the people that were in the article.
LaFell Jackson was one of the people featured in the article. He had served time with Al in federal prison, and it was there that a past full of gang life memories began changing. Both were starting to think about what they would do with their lives.
I did my time and I came home, and immediately when I came home, I started doing what I said I was going to do that day. I started working with kids, and I went straight to the community back, and I'm like, it's wrong. We can't do this. We can't kill each other. And at the end of the day, I did an interview. I think it was with Channel 7 or one of the news stations, and they came out and visited my center. Lo and behold, Al said he was clowning in Tucker Max, really showing his backside. And he said he picked up the paper, and lo and behold, that was LaFell Jackson doing exactly what he said he was going to do. And Al said at that point, he knew that he had to step up his game.
As LaFell began working with children on the outside, Al was beginning to develop the Unity program inside.
Whenever he came to me and showed me this material that he had written about the gangs, being incarcerated in a federal penitentiary, we felt like something needed to be done. And myself and Dr. Moore and Alvin Williams came up with the Unity program, which is a prison and community-based program.
It said take a village to raise a kid.
It was an interesting group. The mental health people, Al being somewhat of a representative of the inmate population, and Captain Davis. I mean, if you look at it, we had input from the three corners that we needed input from. It was that triangle that allowed them to put the program together.
What about these guys right here from the other units?
We've got 51 interview request list waiting for the next class. It seems like that the more classes we have, the more people that's willing to get involved.
25 inmates are chosen for the next class. The new Unity members are greeted at the first meeting by Captain Davis with a hug.
He has sort of the zero tolerance side, but he also has this hugely compassionate side. And I think that, you know, he's been there in the system for a long time, worked his way up to where he is, so he knows all the ins and outs. And you can't con him.
I'm behind the Unity program 100%, but that's one thing that I had to prove to the administration, that I was still going to do what I was hired to do. I've got a career, but I also feel like that there's time for a change as far as the inmate's behavior. Give them something to look forward to, give them that opportunity, and see where it goes from there. Well, you know, we have inmates from all different walks of life. Every gang that you can imagine. Crips, Blood, Vice Lord, Disciples. All of them agree and sign this truth form that they will get along, that they will help curtail arguments or altercations that may occur while incarcerated in the penitentiary.
I get a chance, man, to make amends and correct the wrong. When you go to talk about a gang prevention program, I mean, it's a must that you have a gang truth in that, because you actually giving guys a chance to say, hey, man, I'm not on that no more. You know, I'm gonna stand back, man. I'm gonna try to change myself. You know, this is a sign, a symbol of we gonna work together, because we don't force the guys to do nothing. It's on their own, you know. So a guy from every gang, every organization take their own color and they tie it to the next brother, and to form that gang truth, you know, saying, hey, we gonna work on this. We gonna give it a try, you know, the effort. So that's what this collaborates.
Lord, bless the efforts here today, that minds and hearts will truly be linked together, and that what is done here is not just ceremony.
We learn to be from different neighborhoods, but today we learn what was truly about being from brotherhood. And that's bonding together for one mission, one goal, one purpose. And that's U.N.I.T.Y helping Team U. Raise it. And we say we're praying together. We all here together, man, and we understand today that we are our brother's keeper.
So you've got to rewire the thinking and go, it's okay not to wear the same color of clothing, not to have the same color of skin. And I think the message of the Department of Correction through everything, through this program and scads of others, is we're all going to live together. We're all people. We all share the same state, the same cities, the same towns, the same neighborhoods, and we're going to live together. Unity. And this is a fine example of trying to get people to understand that even though we're different, we're all the same. Unity.